Alright guys, this might be the last time we do this. So let's go with a best of 5, alright? You ready? Let's see here. Rock, paper, scissors, shoe. Rock, paper, scissors, shoe. Rock, paper, scissors, shoe. Rock, paper, scissors, shoe. And last one. Rock, paper, scissors, shoe. How'd you guys do?
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? When I move out, it's about hands down. Back up, tell me what you gonna do now. Breathe in, now breathe out. Hands up, hands down. Back up, tell me what you gonna do now.
Oh yeah, we got a match versus the one and only Symphonyx64 over here. He's got a lead knight, so I know it's not going to be a Dragon Dance set, which is kind of good, but I do know that I'm going to have something die, because that's pretty much just what it does. It just kills something and makes you play 5 on 5. So I get up Stealth Rock while I can. Obviously he's weak to Stealth Rock, so should I somehow come out on a positive end over here, it'll certainly cripple him for later. And I mean, what else am I really going to do? Super Fang, 1 layer of T-Spikes. I'm expecting a fighting move like Superpower or Focus Punch on that turn, so I figure I'm going to try and stay in, maybe get Poison Point activated, you know, maybe catch some sort of something happening, since obviously he wasn't going to go for another Draco Meteor. I didn't want to go to Bliss on that, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get anything else off, and he does finish me with Flamethrower. Meh, so be it. But he's -2 special attack and down 20% HP, so I decided to come in with a Scarf, get a -1 attack as well, and scare him off with an expected Stone Edge. However, I'm not just going to let him get out for free like that. I'm going to go right up to a Melodic myself, because this is where I'm expecting him to bring in some sort of physical, bulky, ground-type dude who wants to set up Stealth Rock, or something of the sort, and then Melodic will be like, lols, got you, but it didn't quite work out that way. P2 is in here, and I go for a Hydro Pump, trying to get as much damage as I possibly can, assuming it's physically bulky because it came into a Tauros, but I miss. It's like, well, that's freaking lovely. Toxic hits me. It sucks, but I do get Marvel Scale, I do have Aromatherapy, I do have Recover, so it's not going to kill me, but it's just annoying. It forces me to spend time doing other crap. I Aromatherapy it away while I have a turn. He stays into Toxic me. I'm like, well, not too big of a deal. I'll heal it when I switch out, whatever. I was kind of hoping he would bring in a fighting type on that one turn so I can triple counter it, but it didn't work out that way. So I'm going to go out to Zapdos now, expecting a fighting type to come in instead, but he's just going to keep going for Toxic because he knows I'm just going to keep switching around. I'm like, well, alright then. We'll just keep on rinsing, repeating, and doing the same old garbage. So Blissey comes back in. This time I soft boil up in case he does bring in some sort of fighting type. It'll give me the most possible HP. It'll make him think I have a chance to stay in when obviously, or when he wouldn't expect that I would. Plus, now that he goes for another Toxic, it gives me a turn to use Aromatherapy and get rid of both people instead of just doing nothing. And here I'm going to go for the counter on his Focus Punch or Superpower, and he decides to Roost. I'm just like, what? And we were talking when this happened. He was like, no, I just dodged that. Oh, man. And he was like, holy crap. So that was huge. And this part is extremely fun. ×4 does not do it justice in cutting out edited spaces, because we just spent like God knows how long being like, man, I know he's still got a fighting move. I know he does. And he's like, I know he's got counter. He used it already. And so we're just both trying to predict when are we going to use what and all sorts of stuff, because he knows he cannot let it land. And I'm trying to get it out there. So I don't think he'll suspect that I go for 2 in a row, so I'm not going to use it now. But he took that chance as to think that I'm going to, whatever, rock, paper, scissors prediction. You know, I was thinking what he was thinking, he's thinking about what I'm thinking, and it didn't work out for me, unfortunately. So I get him down to about half, but he does have Roost. Obviously I survive it because of Triple fairly well, but unfortunately he's still hanging out in there. So at the very least, I do get a free switch out to a Poke with an Ice move, so I know I can still get rid of it, but he's right back where we started, and I've obviously lost a Poke for it. So it's been a few minutes of exchange, and I haven't made any ground while he's obviously accomplished stuff, and that's never a good sign. So I know something is going to come in. I'm sick of Confuse Ray because HP Electric on an offensive poke is just so much better, but that's what I have, so I go for it, figuring some sort of something to take water or ice was going to come in. Figures it was melodic, it's like I could have hit that with HP Electric, but I couldn't, so whatever, so be it. And I'm thinking, you know, I may as well make the most out of the move while I have it and using it for its designed purpose, so I'll go into Zapdos, obviously fearing Ice Beam and Toxic and all that such, but I'll just go to it now because that's what Confuse Ray is supposed to do. Hydro Pump misses. Alright, that's cool. So now we're each 1 for 1 on missing Hydro Pumps. So be it. And I'm going to predict a switch on him and set up a sub. So in comes PZ. I'm going to call that thing PZ all game, so just bear with me. It's just going to happen. I'm sorry. Now, Discharge most likely is going to do just about nothing. Toxic is going to be irrelevant. So I'm going to sit in here and T-Bolt while I've got a sub, and BAM! Get a crit. Get some. I don't care about that. I could use the help this time. I'm going to need it. So getting that crit is going to allow me to 2-hit KO should he be so inclined to stay in, which he is, and that allows me to even the score up at 5-5 at the moment. I believe. I'm usually really bad at keeping track mid-game and thinking on who's alive. You guys know I make mistakes all the time with that, so I'm trying to keep track verbally here. So in comes this guy. I know it's going to be Scarfed. And I don't think it has a rock move of any type. I know it can pack Ice Punch, but I'm going to expect that it's going to predict a switch and use Fighting, and I'm going to stay in for it. I have no idea that that thing could use Trick. I've never seen or heard from it these stupid freaking new moves from Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And yes, I know I just made a joke about new moves from a gen that's freaking old already, but I still think it's new to me. I had no idea it could Trick, and that just puts me behind the 8-ball and a half. I'm like behind an army of 8-balls now. Just the way I play and how I always never expect Trick to be coming, it's always just been such a crippling move against me. And I don't really know where I'm going to go from there. I decide to switch out to Minotaur eventually for an Intimidate, and I still get absolutely rolled, which I gotta think that I was expecting. I mean, granted, we played this like 2 or 3 months ago, so I gotta have been expecting a fighting move coming. He knows I had to switch. Maybe I didn't realize that I'm gonna lose the fighting resistance, I guess. I don't know, but obviously looking at it now in hindsight, that was not the right play, but that's the play I went with, so be it. Maybe I was thinking he would go for Ice Punch, but again, I was choice stuck on Roost when I'm at full HP, so that's just not the way to go. So here I am now with obvious T-Bolt coming in. He goes out to a Blaziken, which is very peculiar to me. Judging by his next move, I think he was just trying to predict HP Ice and wanted to get Breloom in there safely, which he's going to get Breloom in there mostly safely. Poison Heal's going to activate, and there's not a whole lot I can do. I would love to go to Tauros and get an Intimidate on there. I would love to go to Nidoqueen, but I can't because they're both dead. So I have to hope that I can hurt him enough with T-Bolt that he can't set up a sub, and that's really all I'm going to get. But unfortunately, look at that. It leaves him single-digit HP. I'm just like, really? So I don't know if it was min, max, whatever, but now I've got to hope that I break a sub, and which I do, so that's good. It's good to know that I can at least do 25% plus to Breloom with a not very effective move, so that's handy. But now I'm asleep, and I'm like, that's just what you do against Breloom. You just lose once he gets that one turn advantage, you know? He either puts up a sub and smashes you in the face, or he puts you asleep, then sets up a sub and smashes you in the face. I was expecting Substitute to go up there, and instead he went straight for Focus Punch. I guess he probably just couldn't even set up a sub, so that was just another big mistake by me, and I'm like, man, that was dumb. And even if he did set up a sub, what do I do about it? I break the sub and I die? You know, so I'm not quite certain if that was even my correct train of thought, but I'm just, I mean, at this point, like, once that trick hit, I knew I was just in a world of hurt, and there wasn't exactly a whole lot of chances to get out of here. Especially at this point now, I've pretty much lost all my best stuff. Bliss, I believe, is still very severely wounded. I haven't been able to heal it up yet. And obviously I've got Melodic. Scarf Sub-Roost Zapdos is not very helpful in any shape or form. So it's looking like it's more likely for me to get pregnant than it is for me to win this match, but I'm going to do the best I can. So whether he's going to go for Superpower or Draco Meteor, they're both really 50-50 at that point. He goes for the meteor, and it just barely takes it out. I don't remember what the calc was, but I remember we looked back at it, and it didn't kill me by much, but it certainly got me. So obviously I went for Ice Beam, trying to score the kill. Now I've just got to hope for a turn wake up and some hacks, which, I mean, obviously that's not going to happen. Hoping for hacks upon hacks, yeah, that's a good idea. So he goes for a -2 meteor because he, 1, feels it's his best option, and 2, wants to laugh in my face. Thanks for that. So while I continue to try to wake up, but at this point I'm so low that I have to get my HP back up there despite being scarfed, so I'm like, well, that's cool. He switches out despite, or because, even though he's -4, despite knowing that I had to switch. So I was honestly really expecting a physical move in there, such as Superpower, to finish me off, and it didn't come, so, you know, whatever. Switch out to Zapdos. Again, at this point it's really just formality. I'm not going to come out on top of this one. Symphony's going to finish me off, and I find it really, really hilarious in a way. Obviously this is a mixtier format, you know, same format as the tournament and all, that I went undefeated throughout the whole freaking tournament, and even played a whole bunch of, you know, extra matches in between tournament rounds, and I went undefeated through them. And then as soon as it's done, I play 2 casual matches against a couple of buddies, and I go 0-2. Like, really? Really? I'm glad those weren't, you know, quote-unquote didn't count. Otherwise, I would have just, you know, 0-2 drop and been out, and would have been miserable, and that would have sucked, like, hardcore. So I think it's really funny how that works out, but, you know, at the same time, I got to give it up to him. Dude is a hell of a battler, extremely accomplished, and, you know, he got me. Like, there's just no two ways about it. He had the dudes to pull the moves, and he made the right choices on the right turns, and I couldn't make anything happen with it. So I tip my hat off to you, Symph. It was a great match. It was a lot of fun, despite losing. I have no problem losing to you any day. So, you know, I did what I could, staying in there to the bitter end, getting owned by the one and only my favorite Breloom, but that's going to be all for me this time. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.
It starts with I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. The design is fine to explain in due time. All I know, time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as the pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock takes life away. It's so unreal. You can look out below. Watch the time go right out the window. Trying to hold on to didn't even know I wasted it all just to watch you go. I kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me will eventually be a memory of a time I tried so hard and got so far. To remind myself how I tried so hard, in spite of the way you were mocking me, acting like I was part of your property, remembering all the times you fought with me. I'm surprised it got so. Things aren't the way they were before. You wouldn't even recognize me anymore. Not that you knew me back then, but it all comes back to me in